Hey, what is going on, guys? Mr. Brickswag back here with another video. As you guys may know, I recently uploaded a video reviewing Jango Fett's Slave 1, which is a fantastic set. And of course, in Attack of the Clones, which is where the ship primarily appears, there is a very, very neat scene, a fight scene between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Jango Fett. Jango Fett is going to Geonosis, I believe, and Obi-Wan is tracking him there. And along the way, they get into this giant space fight. And so, obviously, to pair with the Slave 1, I think there's no better set to do that than Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter. This set came out actually a very long time ago. I want to say in 2022 or something like that. And they've just kept it on shelves for all this time. And usually sets don't stay on shelves for that long. And part of the reason why they decided to keep it that long was because they had the Slave 1 planned. And so this makes perfect sense. I got my hands on this set actually a couple months ago. It's been a while, but I finally decided that it's time to build it. Now that I have the Slave 1 built and everything, this is just going to be the perfect complement. Recreate that scene, relive all the movie magic. So very exciting set. Yeah, can't wait to unbox it and then review it for you guys. So stay tuned. Alrighty, guys, so just got this set unboxed. Just talk about the box art a little bit first. Very cool box art indeed. You have 3 minifigures that come with this set, one of which is very, very exclusive, so we'll talk about that later. But very good box art. This is actually Obi-Wan when he's flying to Kamino for the first time to investigate, this whole clone business. Very, very, mysterious and kind of shady stuff going on there. A weird operation indeed. And that's where we first see Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter, and then again after that we see it when he's tracking Jango Fett. But basically, the contents of the box, we have 3 numbered bags here, so it should be a fairly simple and quick build. We have an instruction manual that kind of goes over all the parts. So the first one's just kind of the center part, then you build looks like the left wing and probably the right wing after that. So pretty straightforward build looks like. Unfortunately, we do have this giant sticker sheet here, just a ton of stickers. All these Jedi Starfighters seem to have that issue, so I'm not going to hold it against them, but, it would be nice to have printed pieces, I guess. But I guess this saves them a lot of money, so. Anyway, I'm very excited to build this, and hopefully it should be a fun build, so see you guys after that. Alrighty, guys, so just finished the build of Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter. Definitely came out pretty well. I would say the build process, unfortunately, was not the most fun for me. If I had to rate it overall, I would give it a 5 out of 10. Now, that's going to come as a surprise to many of you guys, but part of the reason, honestly, is that the stickers were just way too much for me in this set. There was a huge amount of them. I mean, you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... and then you add on the others from the other side. There's a lot of stickers. I think there's all in all like 15 or something crazy like that, and it's just a lot. It's just a lot of stickers. Some of them are bigger pieces, so this one was really big. I messed this one up quite badly. You can't actually really notice it too much. You can see the edge a little bit here, but I had to like peel it back a couple times and stuff. So yeah, it just doesn't look too amazing overall sticker wise. Aesthetically, I do like the set, but we'll get into that in a second. But yeah, just build process wise, not the biggest fan. Putting together the pieces was all right and everything, but just the sticker process, really, the sticker application process is always a nightmare when it comes to a lot of these sets. And unfortunately, this was one of the worst examples of that. Taking a look at the minifigure lineup, I do actually really like the minifigure lineup here. You have obviously Obi-Wan Kenobi, in his episode 2 form, so he has decently longish hair, but not like super long hair like he has in episode 3 or in like the Kenobi series. You can see he has a hair piece right there that I'll put on in a second. Right now I have him in his kind of hooded configuration. This is kind of where he lands on Kamino, and it's all rainy and stuff, so he's got his hood on, which is pretty normal. He's got his lightsaber out, blue lightsaber. The print looks really good, again, very fluid between the torso and the legs. Really nice. Not much back printing, just a little bit here and there. So yeah, pretty good overall. I'm gonna go ahead and flip his head around real quick. So I went ahead and took off Obi-Wan's little lightsaber and his hood, And this is just his kind of default pilot configuration is what I would call it. So this is the one where you probably want to put him in the cockpit. He has that very nice printed microphone piece and kind of headgear right there. He's got his nice little hair piece, and yeah, he's you know, all ready to go ahead and fly his Starfighter, which is pretty cool overall. Now, taking a look at the other two minifigures in this set, the one that would probably be fascinating to most people is this one, which is Taun We. So obviously, she is a very, very rare character to get, exclusive to this set. But not only that, like, she's the only Kamino that has ever been put in a set, and they did an absolutely fantastic job with this. I mean, they captured the long neck very nicely, you know, the head and everything. This is actually a perfect minifigure. You even got the skirt piece right here, so they definitely put in a ton of effort for this, and I definitely really appreciate that. Again, first time we got a Kamino, and it turned out great. And then the other minifigure we have, of course, is an astromech droid for the Starfighter. Pretty standard there, nothing special to say, but a cool addition and a necessary addition otherwise. Now, going ahead and taking a look at the build itself, aesthetically speaking, I definitely have mixed thoughts. So when it comes to the color scheme, I think it's absolutely fantastic. I love the addition of the lime green and how that contrasts against the white and the dark red, as well as some of the black and the gray. It is a very, very colorful set. You know, you got some yellow from the engines right here, which is also really cool. The landing gear here, I believe when you put it into kind of like flight mode, I guess what you would do is you kick up the front leg kind of like this, or you can just remove it altogether. That probably works well. And the same with the black piece right there. And that would probably give you the aesthetic, like, you know, flight look. But I'm probably going to have mine in landed mode most of the time, so that works out well for me. Again, color scheme, good. Shaping, pretty good overall. I mean, definitely really, really nice. I mean, this cockpit's great. Everything, like, it looks very, very sharp and clean and everything. The biggest complaint I have really is these gaps right here, and I noticed this when I was putting each of the wings on, is it doesn't sit flush for some reason with the set. So I don't know why this is. I don't know why they couldn't modify it to make it so. But they really should, and I don't know if anybody has any mods for this or anything, but that's really my biggest gripe, because if this went all the way in like it was kind of supposed to, honestly, it would be fantastic. I mean, I would have no qualms aesthetically, but unfortunately I do. I mean, look at how awkward that looks. I mean, it's just a giant gap. Like, if it wasn't like that, it would be nice and flush. So yeah, definitely not a great look there. So aesthetically, again, very mixed. Now, taking a look at some of the play features on here, you do have one kind of removable feature right here, which is this, antenna dish thing. So you can actually go ahead and, move this around, which is really neat. And you can also just straight up take it off. Again, this is more for like if you're in the landed mode as opposed to being in flight mode. You really wouldn't want to have this when you're, flying it around or whatever. And so very, very easy connection there. You can even put it on the other side if you really want, but I think this is the correct side to put it on. You also have a spot to put on the astromech's head right here. So what you would do is you would take off the head and then you go ahead and put it on top of here. Just like so. And then what you would do is you can also remove this kind of canopy right here. And you can go ahead and put the body of the astromech nicely in here. There's actually no studs to connect it. You just go ahead and, put it in. And it fits very nicely. And then you go ahead and put the canopy back on. So pretty neat overall. Pretty neat feature. And again, it stays really nice and secure, when you are in flight mode, so nothing really comes off. Very, very nice. And you can even, spin the head of this guy around. So yeah, pretty neat. Now, as for the other features on this set, so one of the other play features is that there are stud shooters on each of the wings. I am not going to fire them off because I don't want to go ahead and pick off those things, but pretty cool feature. Not really necessary, but again, it is a play set, so I don't really care. And then you also have this canopy here that opens up, and you can go ahead and put Obi-Wan inside it. So, bend his legs over. There, you can see there's two studs to go ahead and put him on there, which is real nice. You got his little like headrest, I guess. You can just put that there. You can lean him a little back, I guess, whatever you want to do. Make it look appropriate. Go ahead and close it down, and there you go. You got Obi-Wan kind of piloting the ship and everything. Looks pretty cool. Looks pretty cool. Looks pretty neat. Definitely a really big fan. And then while he's, you know, obviously occupied with flying, you can go ahead and put his lightsaber on the bottom here. So pretty cool. Then that means the only two kind of spare pieces you're left with are Taun We and this. So you can go ahead and, you know, fly him around, whatever, boom, you know, whoosh, whoosh through the air, you know, set him down, open up the cockpit, you know, and then he can go ahead and meet Taun We. Pretty cool overall. Definitely a very, very neat set, and yeah, a lot of cool play features. If I had to rate the set overall on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it probably a 6 out of 10. And it seems like a little bit of a harsh score, but as I mentioned before, the build process definitely brings it down a notch, as well as these giant gaps in the wings. Not a big fan of that aesthetically. Other than that, set looks pretty good. I mean, it's pretty decent value overall. I got this for 30 bucks on the Lego store, so bought it the official way and everything. Minifigure lineup I think is pretty good, and the reason why I got this set personally was just to go ahead and recreate, you know, Kamino and everything. They definitely came out with a lot of like Jango Fett and episode 2 features, you know, for Lego sets this year, and so I decided why not throw this one into, you know, complete the look and everything. And yeah, I think it does pair pretty well. I mean, you can, again, create, you know, the scene of Obi-Wan landing in, going into the Kamino factory, and then he comes out and faces Jango Fett and his Slave One and everything. So yeah, definitely a pretty cool set, but just not my favorite, unfortunately. Hope you guys enjoy my review of Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter. Definitely a pretty cool set. Glad I got to review it. If you guys did like the video, please go ahead and drop me a like below. Please comment any feedback you guys have in the comment section as well. And if you guys like my channel and all the content I've been uploading, then please go ahead and subscribe. Really helps me out a lot. Helps me beat the algorithm and everything, and gets my content shown to a lot more people who like it. So yeah, really appreciate it, guys. And stay tuned to Mr. Brickswag for more Lego Star Wars content. Peace out.